And today I have your weekly preview for the week of May 29th, 2023. So let's get into it with your Soulforge, your event key drop table, your arcane trait stone in the Glory Shop troop, the epic trials, the world event, all that good stuff. Let's go. Weighing options, new epic troop, Mouth of Zorn. Get this troop with glory from the rewards tab of the shop. A Feast for a God. Experience a new world event with your guildmates. Play world event battles every day to unlock rewards. A Ravatar Skull. The campaign has started. New rewards every day. Don't miss out. I almost forgot about the campaign. I guess I got to do that today, huh? But yeah, the Kingdom Pass is over. I hope you got that all the way done. Vault event is over. How did you do? I got over 400 Vault keys, believe it or not. Friday I did terrible. I only had like 40 keys after Friday. And then on the chatathon on Saturday, which was freaking amazing. You guys are awesome. Broke the record again. 8 hours and 45 minutes. Super duper awesome. Helps the channel keep going. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all the sinners of the choir that were there and participated, whether it was giving me things to talk about or donating or whatever. Everything helps. Just being there and lurking helps. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about. The Vault event, I got not so many keys during the chatathon because I was chatting. It's a chatathon. And I think I came into Sunday with like 150, maybe max. And somehow I ended up getting like another almost 300 Vault keys on Sunday, just going super hard on Sunday, making up for it. I felt like, man, I played this game for 8 hours and 45 minutes the other day. And Friday I played a little bit. And I only had like 150 keys. I was like, what the heck? I got to make up for this. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way to think or not. But on Sunday, I grinded it out. It is a holiday today. It was the Vault event. It is the best time to get gold, souls, orbs, gems, everything. So if you're looking to gold farm, soul farm, or whatever, it was the Vault event. And now it's over. So hopefully you went super hard. Events, Week of Divines, all Divine troops gain 10% to skills. Week of Orc, all Orcs gain 10% to their skills. And bonus glory, use the Mouth of Zorn in PvP to gain 5 glory. Let's go look at that real quick, though, just to show you for sure. I could show you how many I had. I had 100 Vault keys when I started the Vault event. And now I have 481. So I always add them all up. I don't do the split them out thing. So I got 381 Vault keys, and then I got 34 Epic Vault keys. So over 400 total. It's the way you get everything in the games. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Just commit to it. Just commit to it. You gotta do it. Alright, let's go with the Soulforge. It was one where they sprang it on us, though, and it was a holiday weekend. People probably taking like going places on vacation and stuff, so I totally understand if you couldn't grind it out super hard. Anyway, what do we got in this Soulforge here? Triton, the Gemini, the Archduke, Basilisk, Obsidius, the Wild Queen. Alright. Alright, so the Wild Queen is probably the best thing in here. Let me double check. Obsidius. We got the Archduke. We got the Gemini. Yep. So you got the Wild Queen. It was potentially a top 5 mythic. This is for sure a top 10 mythic. You know, I ride the fence a lot with the borderline top 10 and stuff like that. Well, this one is a for sure top 10 in my opinion. I really like the Wild Queen. A super potent version of the Wild King. They're both good, though, and they both have their uses, so they're both top 10s. So I'm not putting down the Wild King. I just like the Wild Queen slightly better. 22 purple, green, brown, Pan's Veil, elemental wild folk. Steal up to 45 attack from an enemy and give it to my first ally. Create a mix of 22 skulls and green gems. The reason I like this better than the Wild King is because it steals attack from... You can steal it from whatever enemy you want. So you can steal it from their first enemy if they have attack. You could steal it from a different enemy if the first enemy is entangled. It's just really awesome to be able to steal attack from any enemy that you want to and make it so they don't have as much attack to backfire. If you won't backfire as hard because you're stealing their attack. And you get to give it to your first ally, who is the person doing the skull damage, instead of giving it to everybody on your team. The last guy on your team doesn't really need attack, you know what I mean. So you're giving more, I think you give more attack to your first ally than like the Wild King gives when he gives it to everybody on the team. I think that's what he does anyway. So you steal up to 45 attack from an enemy and give it to my first ally. That's perfect. And then create a mix of 22 skulls and green gems, which is quite a bit. Summon a Bone Storm when an ally dies, but that means an ally has to die, so you really don't want that to happen. So she doesn't really have any good traits, but the spell is so good that she's just awesome. Still use her to this day on my Green Guild Wars team. Let's see what else. Obsidious, Gemini, or the Archduke. That one's pretty hard. I guess Obsidious. He was a top 10 mythic, and then we got Elementalist, and that dropped him out. Sometimes that happens. The troop doesn't get worse. It's just like other things come into the game that do their main thing better. And Obsidious's main thing was stunning, and Elementalist can stun better than him. So that drops him out of the top 10. He might still be a top 25, but he dropped pretty far because of Elementalist just being so much better. 24 red, purple, brown, Draxum, Daemon, Elemental. Deal heavy splash damage to a random enemy. Destroy a 5/5 block. There's a 50% chance to deal 52 light splash damage to a random enemy. So still does damage, still does mana generation. So it's not useless or anything. It has stone skin. It's still really good. Like if you got it early in the game, you can make it your tank or something. It would still be a good troop to have. It's still like a top 25, like I said. Still really good. It's probably A tier mythic. So when I say like it dropped out of the top 10, there are 100 mythics. So if it's still a top 25, it's in the top 25% of mythics. It's still potentially an A tier, A minus, B plus, something like that. Better than like Eye of Argus, probably. Maybe. It's pretty close. Alright, so the Wild Queen, then Obsidious. Then you have the Archduke and the Gemini. Which one is better? They're really close. They're probably both like right around the same. This one has a chance to instant kill, and this one does true damage and steals life, which is better than just true damage. So it's a really hard decision here. Let me look at them. Well, in my opinion, just the troop art is going to be the tiebreaker, so I'm going to go with the Gemini in third place for Mythics this week. 24 red, yellow, purple, Galvania, Undead Mystic. Steal life from the 2 weakest enemies, then inflict curse and 3 stacks of bleed on them. Give 8 life to all purple allies and matching purple gems, Undying, and Spell Armor. You just got to love that troop art right there, right? It was like the Shining or something. The Archduke, so all the mythics are good this week. They're all above average, decent, but you go the Wild Queen, then Obsidious, and then if you want to, the Archduke, but I would say the Gemini and then the Archduke. 25 red, blue, brown, Blighted Lands Daemon. Deal damage to an enemy. There's a percent chance equal to my magic to destroy them. If they die, summon a Lemure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there not a 50% start for Daemon? So that's another reason to put the Gemini on top of the Archduke, because at least you can 50% start it with the Ghost Queen for Undead. But let me know in the comments if you want to make your opinion known about that one. Who is better? Put it in the comments, the Archduke or the Gemini. And do you agree with my overall order of mythics? The Wild Queen, then Obsidious, then the Gemini, then the Archduke. Let me know. I want to see what you say. Alright, so for legendaries, we have Gorgatha, which is a good one. Hyndla, which is pretty good. Basilisk, which is a little underrated, decent. And Triton, which is a 50% start, so you got all good legendaries too. Is there any top 5 legendaries that you have to craft, though? Triton, 50% start for Merfolk. Basilisk, true damage. Hyndla with that summon, just hardy, freezing. Gorgatha might be a top 5 legendary. I still use it. It's an awesome tank, a good mana generator. It has a cleanse on it. It's probably just outside the top 5 for legendaries. I think there's probably 5 legendaries better than it, but it might be a top 10 legendary. This would probably have to be called a borderline top 10 legendary. So if you craft it, you know, it's one of those borderline craft. You should probably try to get it other ways. If I'm going to give strict advice, I would say try to get it other ways, but if you craft it, I wouldn't be mad at it because it is a top 10 legendary. And it only cost, whatever, I don't even remember, 800? I haven't crafted a legendary in so long. 800, yeah. Alright, let's go over them and put them in order, because it's fun. 15, brown, yellow, Kaziel Daemon, explode, gems, cleanse myself. So pretty much explodes the whole board. Really good mana generator. It cleanses itself, so you put it in first slot since it's a tank. And if it gets entangled or anything, it can cleanse itself and not be entangled anymore. Granite Skin, 75% skull reduction. That's the second highest in the entire game. The only thing that's higher is the 80% Unbreakable with, I think, I always forget his name, Stonehammer, I think his name is. And then a 25% chance to summon an Ancient Horror on death. So if somehow somebody kills this cleansing, exploding Granite Skin tank, then you still have a 25% chance to get a summon into first slot when it dies. So pretty cool, really good, top 10 legendary, probably. Wouldn't be mad at it if you craft it. But let me know, once again, in the comments, what do you think? And then second would, is it Triton? This is hard today, because they're all good. Basilisk or Hyndla? I guess Triton, because of that 50% start from Merfolk. It's a utility deal. It's not a top 10 or anything. You probably shouldn't craft it, but if you are just trying to collect everything in the game and you got to decide between Triton and Hyndla for some reason, you're a very specific person, I guess I would say Triton. 16 blue-purple Merlantis Merfolk. Deal heavy splash damage to an enemy boosted by blue gems, then give all Merfolk 4 magic. All Merfolk allies start with 50% mana. Summon an Ice Storm at the start of battle. So a solid troop that gives you one of the 50% starts that you're trying to collect. Hyndla would have to be next. She is very solid. She's just been in the game for a long time, so she used to be one of the best troops in the game. Probably a top 10 legendary. But that was a very long time ago. She's been in this game forever, and just stuff kept coming in, and knocked her out of the top 10. 15 green, blue, Stormheim, Elemental Giant. Deal splash damage to an enemy and freeze all affected enemies. Summon a giant troop, which is good. Giant troops are good. They're hardy. They got lots of durability. Splash damage, you're hitting multiple enemies. You're freezing everything that you hit. And then you can summon a giant troop if you happen to lose something. So it is good. Definitely good. That would probably be a B tier legendary. Maybe A. And then finally we have Basilisk, who isn't bad. It's above average for sure at worst. 17. It's underrated, overlooked. So 17 blue brown Mist of Scales monster beast. Deal true damage to an enemy. If the enemy is poisoned, deal double damage. Then deal true damage again. If they are stunned, deal double damage. So you pretty much hit the same thing twice with true damage. And if they're poisoned, you do double damage, and then you do it twice. So it is a single target true damage, not the best thing in the game, but you always like to see true damage, especially something that could probably one-shot. It's got stun a random enemy when matching brown gems, which is good. It's got poison enemies when doing skull damage, which is okay, and it's got tough scales, 30% skull reduction, which is always good. That's like a good legendary. It's above average, C+, B-, something like that. Maybe in the C's. But not if you do 50 mythics and you say these are the top 50 and they're above average, it would be somewhere in that top 50, I would think. Anyway, what kind of weapons do we got? I don't think. Okay, so we got the King Chopper. That's Explode Red, Grosh-Nak allies, positive stat effect, and summon. Blockstone, Barrier, damage to an enemy and silence them. Mace of Grosh-Nak, String of Teeth, Bone Scraper. I'm using this in the World event for all the teams, so hopefully you have it. It has a Bone Storm on it. Create a Bone Storm. You can see it there on the right side of the screen, and the metal is Skull Metal. So you want that Bone Scraper. This one does damage in a mix of red and brown gems. Earth's Fury's good. I think you can get this other ways. Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. If you don't have Earth's Fury, you should probably grab it. But I'm pretty sure you got it. Doomed Codex is the most important thing in here as far as weapons go. For that one day, for that one guy, on that one color. You know, like I always say. Not something a beginner should grab, but if it's going to be forever until it comes back around, you might as well grab it if you have the diamonds and you're a mid-level player or up. So yeah, Doomed Codex is the most important thing here, and then I would say the Bone Scraper for the World event. As far as troops go, you got the Wild Queen, and then Gorgatha. So Wild Queen, Gorgatha, Doomed Codex is what you're looking at. Alright, let's check out that World event real quick. A Feast for a God is what it's called. The Mouth of Zorn was waiting for his bribe. He was helpful if you fed him enough. Food was always the answer here. Defeat enemies in Grosh-Nak and collect food for the Mouth of Zorn. So it is a skull damage medal. Go check out that video. It's only 6 minutes long. It's got 3 teams on it, and I think it's pretty much the only thing you can do, unless there might be 1 or 2 things I left out that just aren't as good, that are possibilities, but I have all the best possibilities, and I built teams out of them, and should be okay. It should be the best teams for this event. Scoring, I also have a video on the scoring. Go check it out. It's even shorter than the team video. It's got a thumbnail with the scoring on it, so you don't even really have to watch it, even though I would appreciate it. Rewards, always grab your rewards before you even fight, so you can get your tokens and badges. Don't try to fight without tokens and badges, because that's what the event is. Pretty much the medal is the whole event. That's why you don't do spell on a skull damage medal, and that's why you don't do skull on a spell damage medal. Because that is what this event is. It's all based around the medal. Yeah, just do your share. I bought up to tier 2 so far, and I usually buy maybe 1 more throughout the week. Potentially, it depends like if we need it or not. Yeah, so that is the world event, and that is the Soulforge. Let's go check out the shop. Get your spoils of war. You want those event keys. They're very useful. I got the Onyx Giant. I forgot to talk about it last week, but the Onyx Giant was available last week from Stormheim. And as a free-to-play player, it might have been the first time that you could have got it with event keys. It probably is, because it's not like Stormheim's coming around all the time. And the Onyx Giant is a newer mythic from the last year or so. So I'm sorry that I forgot to say that. But if you're on my Discord, you would have saw it. So join my Discord. If you need the link, just ask me in the comments. Somebody will get it to you for sure. Alright, got the Mouth of Zorn. 12, yellow, blue, Grosh-Nak, Divine Orc. A Divine Orc, huh? Deal damage to an enemy boosted by Orc allies. If the enemy is death marked, there's a 35% chance to devour them. So, you know, a devour is always welcome, but 35% isn't that high. And, the ×4 boost ratio boosted by Orc allies. You can't whenever it's boosted by allies, you can only have 3 allies or whatever, 4 at the most. So it's never like a good boost ratio when it's like that. And then no good traits, so not the greatest. It's coming in with Arcane Blade trait stones, blue and yellow. You get 2 per. So let's go see what we can fully trait with that blue-yellow trait stone. Troops. Oops. Troops. We got yellow, we got blue, we got all color, we got base rarity, we got show all. Alright, so what troops can we fully trait with this trait stone that you can buy infinite of in the glory shop right now? One of the best things to do with your glory in the entire game. Aquaticus has Tsunami. Submerge all allies in magic 4 or more gems. That's good when you're facing a team that's doing AoE damage, then they can't hit you. I think even Champion of Anu has that 60% skull reduction, and I can't say that word. I need to go look it up on Google and have it pronounce it for me so I can say it right. Poison Gaze, poison all enemies on 4 or 5 gym match. Very important for the Scorpius Urali team, which is very good right now with the Bane of Mercy. High King Iron Gut, I mean, you don't need his traits, but if you want to gold medal him, you have to fully trade him, so it's something to keep in mind. Got Ironhawk, artillery support, one of the most important traits in the entire game, so make sure if you don't have artillery support, you need to stock up on those trait stones, especially if they are used by Ironhawk. You know, with Mythics, you can never tell because they got 3 colors, so it could be yellow-brown and blue-brown, and instead of yellow-blue. So you just got to take a look at it. I'm just telling you which Mythics might use this trait stone. I can't tell you for sure with the Mythics. I can tell you for sure with everything Legendary and under, though. Mistralis, Enchanted Wind, enchant all allies on 4 or 5 gym match, which is awesome. Another really good trait. I think even Leonis Tower, stun a random enemy when matching yellow gems, invulnerable and stone skin. Those are really good traits. People use that on their defend teams. Here's that Stonehammer I was talking about, Unbreakable, 80% skull reduction, highest in the entire game. He's an okay mythic. Skady has the Snowstorm. What's Sparkinator got? Nothing. Cedric Sparkle Sag, 100% bonus gold from battle. Best gold farming troop in the entire game. Now that we're into the legendaries, it's a 100% chance that it uses this trait stone. Borealis, triple skull damage versus frozen enemies. So, if you don't have triple damage to burning, like you don't have Slayer on 100 or Sunspear on 100 or one of those Fireblade classes, this is like the early game, mid game type of way to do the triple damage. So Borealis, it's just the only problem with it is you have to cast his spell before you start doing that, and with Fireblade you don't have to do that. So Fireblade is better, but Borealis you might have access to it faster than getting like a Slayer to 100 or Sunspear to 100, because there's other classes you want to do first, like Titan and Elementalist. I think Celastasia, gain a barrier on 4 or 5 gym match. That's not bad. Essentia, 50% Dragon start. Or Aerie has that Astronomy, which is a unique trait that no one else has. Conjure a Starstorm at the start of my turn, and Impervious. Silent Sentinel inflicts silence when enemies deal skull damage to me. That's really annoying. And it has Stone Skin and Spell Armor. So that's important. This stone is pretty good. I mean, we're barely even into the legendaries, and we've said a bunch of stuff. The silent one, silence enemies when doing skull damage. That's good. Anything else? Doing this off the top of my head, so I might miss one or two things. Princess Elspeth has Empowered. It's important to get all your empowered troops fully traded. The Bane of Mercy, one of the most important troops in the game right now, and it's empowered. You got to get it fully traded to use it correctly. I think Tal is empowered. He's not used very often, but he's empowered. He's notable. Astral Spirit is empowered. And that might be it. Got a couple bounty troops there that are good. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff. That's really good. If I go back over it real quick, Princess Elspeth. The Bane of Mercy, right? Silent Sentinel, Aerie, Essentia, Celastasia, Cedric Sparklesack, Borealis, pretty much every legendary. That is blue, yellow needs to be fully traded. And then you got the mythics, you got to make sure that they use this stone, but Mistralis is very important, Ironhawk is very important, your rally's pretty darn important. Yeah, really good, really good trait stone. I hope you've been saving your glory. You just did the vault event, open your vault keys, you'll get a bunch of glory. That's another thing that vault keys will give you is glory. Alright, so that's the trait stone. Let's take a look at the event key drop table. It's Grosh-Nak. I do this on the spoiler video. I kind of realized that the other day, like I do this already on the spoiler video, but maybe if you didn't watch the spoiler video, you get something out of it. I'll try to just go over it quickly, so I've already done this. Grosh-Nak. Base rarity. Show all. So the mythics are pretty bad. Eye of Argus is okay. It's I call it a B- tier mythic, so still good. Anything in B tier is good. It's mostly used on defense if you're trying to troll people, like the Great Worm. Just think of the Great Worm, and that's Eye of Argus. Eye of Argus is a slight upgrade to the Great Worm. Anytime you're using the Great Worm, put Eye of Argus. Replace the Great Worm with the Eye of Argus. He's also decent if you have 3 of him, but you have to go and get 3 of him and dedicate that much resources. To make him good on an offensive team, you need like 2 or 3 of him, and he's only like a B-tier mythic, so then you have to invest a ton of resources into getting a B-tier mythic to make his offensive team, which would be 3 Eye of Argus with the hero. That's why I don't like it that much. It is cool, it's nice, you got like Web Spinner and 3 Eye of Argus or something like that, but you can't use your hero, you gotta invest a ton of resources into a mythic that's not top 10 or even A tier, and that's why I just don't like it that much. It's too much, it's too expensive for what it does. Garnock, 50% start for Orcs if you don't have it. And then Shoggoth is good, but it's an underworld mythic or legendary, so you can't get it with event keys. Remember that. Cannot get faction troops with event keys, but they're so easy to get with Chaos Shards. Fist of Zorn, Empowered Converter. You probably need this for the World event, and it's a good troop just to have anyway. Tricknala, same thing, except for a different color, and does Hunter's Mark. Empowered Converter, Skulls. And... is that about it? I think that's it. So Tricknala, Fist of Zorn, Garnock, and Eye of Argus is what you're looking for if you're going to throw event keys. And event keys, it takes way more than you would think. When I was going for the Onyx Giant in Stormheim last week, it cost me at least 3,000 event keys. So I recommend you have at least 5,000 if you want to make sure that you get a certain mythic. Because you could throw a bunch of event keys and just keep getting Gargantuar and Shade of Zorn and not even get Eye of Argus. So it's hard. You only get a mythic here or there with event keys. You save up 5,000, you wait for a kingdom, and then you throw them. And then you save up 5,000, you wait for a kingdom, and then you throw them. You don't just throw 100 event keys. You don't just throw 1,000 event keys unless it's Ironhawk and you're going all in because it's the best thing in the game to use event keys on. Otherwise, if you're throwing 1,000, you're probably not going to get the thing. You're going to go back to 0, and it's going to be a long time before you get enough again to try for a mythic. So you really want to save up at least 3,000, but I would recommend like 5,000 before you start trying for mythics. And make sure you try for a top 10 mythic. The only reason I went for the Onyx Giant is because I have all the troops in the game, and it was a pay troop that was finally available for free to play. So it's collection purposes for me. But the Onyx Giant is decent. I haven't got to use it yet, so how would I know? Okay, event key drop table done. Trait stone done. Shop done. Soulforge done. World event done. What else is going on this week? All right, so today you're going to be doing that campaign. You're going to be doing that world event, that Skull Metal world event. Check out the video. So that's what's up today. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have Dripping Caverns faction event. I'll have a video right at reset for you, most likely. Wednesday, is it the Ogrekin pet from Grosh-Nak? If you need Grosh-Nak pets for Kingdom Power, you should just do that anyway. Do the pet rescue. Class trial is Barbarian. It's an okay class, not anything to write home about, above average. Some people like it, though. Then this weekend we have the Bounty that we were supposed to have last weekend. They flip-flopped it, and they switched it. They did the old switcheroo, and now we got Bounty this weekend with that Skelly Cat troop. Bounty Hunter. Okay, so now what do we do? Let's go look at the campaign real quick. What's the venture board? Ooh, deeds. Make sure you grab deeds whenever you can. It's something you're going to run out of and not have enough of at the end of the game. Jotnar knew very little, but the appearance of the grave giants was ominous. Our next stop would be Grosh-Nak. The mouth of Zorn, the orcish war deity, was easy to bribe and talkative. It seemed like fair chance to learn something. We got Glory Hound, oh, it did ask for that. Lady Outfit, a.k.a. Wow. I didn't know that was going to be there. Well, at least you got to do the PvP, too. So the best way to get Glory is to do PvP. That's crazy. I thought they weren't going to ask us for resources anymore. Oh, well. I'm wrong about that. Shout out to Sane Hahuri, a.k.a. Lady Outfit. She were asking me for a reason, and it just went right over my head. I haven't looked at this yet, and Glory Hound to earn glory from any battle. The best way to do that is PvP. It's weird, you got to earn glory from battle. If there's other ways of doing that, put it in the comments. She did ask me, and I always do PvP, so I don't know. But it asks you to win 20 PvP battles right here, and that's almost enough to get the 100 glory. You might have to go a little bit further. 25 or so. I think you get 3 or 4 or 5 glory per battle. So you may have to do a couple more PvP battles, but as you're doing the PvP battles, you're going to get the glory. Just do one trophy. It's all tailored to your account. Like, PvP is not super hard and the same for everybody. Like, it's tailored to your account, your win-loss record, your team score, stuff like that. So one trophy should not be hard for anybody, no matter what level you are, no matter anything. It should not be hard. You could even use like Rowan or Skeleton Key Team or Guardians or Gobtruffle. You should be able to, if you lose here or there, no big deal. Just keep trying. It's not that big of a deal. Just, you should be able to win one trophy 75% of the time at least, no matter who you are. Got the Slayer done without even trying. Wonder why she didn't tell me that it's a campaign task right now, dummy. It's one right now, you dummy. Being too nice. Alright, attack is what we get this week, which is okay. That's the second best stat in the game. Magic is the best. Okay, so. Alright, y'all, here is the epic trial. Do not let the forum scare you off of this one. It's not as hard as they're making it out to be. It did seem like it was going to be hard. The enemy team does have a lot of summons, but my best advice for this, it's really hard to give advice for this one, but just keep trying and try to go fast. You want to kill the enemies as quick as possible so they don't get the chance to summon, basically, is the main advice. Of course, you want to put them in this order: Drake Rider, and then Brawlmaster, and then Fist of Zorn, and then Tricknala. That was the order I did. You're basically sacrificing your Drake Rider, and then your Brawlmaster is giving everybody attack. He's got a bunch of red to get up Tricknala and Fist of Zorn again. He has Skull Reduction. He gets enraged when he gets enraged, and so you're basically sacrificing your Drake Rider and then the Drake after it some of the time. But just go fast. Make sure you have alignment. Even when you don't have alignment, the faster you get the battle done and lose, then you could start over, maybe get alignment in the next battle. It kind of was like I wasn't looking for alignment as much as when I was looking for alignment, like overly too much and waiting and waiting and waiting to cast, that's when I was losing. I stopped losing. I did this on my second try. This is the final battle, by the way, level 350. No need to change the team, devs, if you're watching, which you're probably not. No need to change the teams. I got it done. It's fine. It's an epic trial. It's not an easy trial or an everyone trial. It's an epic trial. So I think you should keep it the way it is. I got it all the way done. Pet fully ascended. But yeah, that's my main advice there, is just to go. Just go. It's not, if you lose, you're going to lose fast. If you win, you're going to win fast. If it's taken forever, then you're not doing something right. The Tricknala turns green to Skull. The Fist of Zorn turns yellow to Skull. They both start empowered. The Brawlmaster makes a bunch of red to get them back up once they cast. So you're just kind of like casting them over and over and over. You got to have something. You can't just cast them whenever you want to. Like, you got to have something, but it doesn't always have to be an extra turn. That would be my best advice. And then if you lose, no big deal. Start the battle over. It takes you 2 minutes to lose. You try again. It took me like 3 minutes to win this battle. So if I can win it in 3 minutes, then you can lose it in 2 minutes and try again. Maybe keep trying until you get a gnome in there or something. But don't waste a Nomapalooza. You should have used all your Nomapaloozas this past weekend. It's possible without doing that. As you can see, I already got 3 of them dead. Oh, they haven't even killed my Drake yet. It's not that bad. I was flip-flopping like crazy on this one. First, I was like, it's not bad, you know. We're going to get it done. No need to change it. And then I went on the forums and saw a bunch of crying and whining. So then I was like, oh, is it hard? And then I tried it, and I was going real slow, and it was a little bit too hard. And I looked at all the enemies, and I'm like, man, they got a bunch of summons and stuff. This is going to be really hard. And then I changed my message on the forum and was like, oh, you guys are right. It might be too hard. And then I tried again, and I just change my strategy a little bit and go a little bit faster and not care as much. And bang, 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 they're all dead, and I win. I'm like, oops, I probably shouldn't have posted that. Because I should have stuck with my original post where I was saying it wasn't that hard and we shouldn't be crying about it every single time. But yeah, it's not for everyone. So when people say, it's a stat check. It's a stat check. Well, you know what? It's not for everyone. You know that? It's an epic trial. So not everybody's supposed to do it. Just get the first one done and then orb up the pet if you can't get it done. If you can't get it done, it's not meant for you to do. It's supposed to be hard. So if they change this one, I'm going to freak out and jump out my window because it's not that hard. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Get on the channel, comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.